welcome to Dynamite the Light, a show that I know I'm going to mess up on. There's a lot that happened in this show, and this is now the second time I filmed this. Well, actually, the third time I filmed it. I know I'm going to forget something. It's going to piss me off because I want to make this a very long. This is either going to be a very long video or an extremely short video because I'm going to get pissed off because I'm going to forget something. But I believe I'm going to make this a very long video that might not have many images in it. Very few. So let's move on. Okay. This show was dedicated to Brodie Lee. And he was, well, this was done in Rochester, New York. And I gotta say this. I'm not tooting my own horn. I'm not. And no one told me that AEW is going to start showing more respect to Brodie Lee. But as you see in my intro video, the very opening, you see Brodie Lee. I wasn't told anything about it. I just had this urge to make it. As you guys know me, I have the urge to do certain things. And it kind of fits with this show because this was about Brodie Lee and showing respect to him, to his wife, to his son, and to his hometown. That's what this is all about. To give his hometown, his son, and his wife something special. That's what this is all about. And for me personally, this did hit the mark. But I'm not going to lie that this show had a lot of stuff I did not like in it. But let's move on to it. And you guys tell me if I'm right or not. Jungle Boy versus Adam Cole, which was a good match. Now, not everyone, and sorry for the noise, I got new water shoes on, and it's squeaking, as you can hear it. But you see the match. It was mostly psychology in the very opening of it. And I know there's going to be people going to say, dude, why did Adam Cole work like that? It was wrong. It was stupid. No. Look, sometimes it's worth doing this slowly. Adam Cole made the decision with Jungle Boy to make a slow pace at first and then build up into the match itself. The crowd was cheering like crazy by the time it was over. And the psychology was done right. There was an opening of some technical wrestling and it was made to be slow. Adam Cole took his time with the match. Jungle Boy did not. He tried to fly everywhere. And you see the stark difference between a veteran, a real veteran, unlike what John Smith of Raw, who says everyone is a veteran, and you see Adam Cole, who is. He knows how to make a break. No, I hate Raw. You can see how he paced the match, slowly ramping it up, reaching a point where it becomes he is outperforming Jungle Boy. But then as time goes on, Jungle Boy raises up. Then they reach a point where they're both dead even. And then Jungle Boy begins to exceed Adam Cole, where he had to start pulling out some tricks. Next to what you see in my face, unfortunately, I could not get the shot where he nails him in the nuts with his leg. It's right afterward. I did look at the picture. I'm sure I got it. And if I don't, I'm sorry. But he nails him in the nuts because he knows he couldn't beat him. No problem with that. That is how a heel works. We know Adam Cole can beat anybody, but it doesn't mean he won't cheat when he thinks it's right. Now the click comes out. Oh. The super click comes out. And they make it very clear how important they are. How important having Adam Cole is. Having the Impact. Fuck Impact Wrestling for not letting anyone go to AEW. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Impact is gaining nothing. They need more exposure for their people. And having the Good Brothers means shit. I say it again. Shit. I'm just saying. But they put over the team. They put everybody over. Nakazawa was, I believe his name is Nakazawa, was asked to speak because he's supposed to be the greatest speaker. But when they started chanting stuff, he said, no, I have nothing to say. Then Bryan Danielson comes out. And they tried to make it clear, and Kenny tries to make it clear, that Bryan Danielson goes to the back of the line. He can get another shot. But he comes out and says to everyone, do you want to see a rematch? Do you want to see me against him? And do you see this guy has no balls? And everyone started chanting no balls Omega or no ball Kenny. That was a nice touch. Then they wanted to get a little bit of fighting on because they wanted to see if Bryan Danielson would come in, and he calls out the Jurassic Express. Let's put it like this. Seeing Jurassic Express and Christian come out is fine. It makes sense they have to come out. And it kind of goes along with what's going on with the rest of the night because I couldn't stand how they booked the rest of the night. I didn't like it. I'm being honest. I didn't like it. And I'm coming to it right now. Let's get it done. The 16-man tag. I'm getting it done now. I don't give a fuck. It's not in order. I don't care. Oh. Hardy Brand with a couple of extra people versus Dark Order. Now, I understand why they did it. They wanted to get every member of Dark Order, including -1, to be seen because this was Brodie's team. This is his hometown. They wanted to make it clear that this was important. I understand it, but couldn't you done it in a tag match and have all of them there? Couldn't you just have Dark Order at ringside and they just kept fighting one another and on and off, but you keep them, not to send them into the back, but at least make it important. You could have had Silver and Reynolds deal with Private Party or Butcher and Blade. I think that would have been better than what they did here. It was such a clusterfuck. I just don't agree with it. It's bad with 6 or 8, but 16, 8, and 8 was dumb. But I understand why they did it. And I'm not taking anything away from it. I'm not. It reached a point where -1 gets angry at Evil Uno because Evil Uno can't stand Reynolds. Reynolds can't stand Evil Uno at one point because he bumps into him or crashes into him because of how, I believe it was Private Party that threw him into him. I can't remember who. And he's heading to the back. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with it. Grayson's trying to tell him to stop. And then you know who comes out? Anna Jade, Conchi, -1, who throws something at the Evil Uno, and literally Brodies Wife comes out and is pointing at them, and I believe I got a shot of that in my face, and pretty much says, get your ass back in that ring and do what you need to do for my husband who has been good to you. She didn't say all that. She said, get your ass back in the ring. Get your ass back in the ring. Do your job. And they go back. They basically clean house, and eventually they do win. I'm not surprised. They were supposed to win. This is where they're supposed to win. If they did not win, this would be a WWE booking. Yes, I know. It's not good that WWE would basically, in the guy's hometown, not let them win. Most on and off, they would do that. But essentially, WWE would never do this. Only when they died, they would do it. Only a few weeks or a month later, they would do something like this. But the next year, no, they make you job. They will make you job. But here they did not. They believed it was wise to do it, and I do agree with it. It made the crowd happy. Everyone was cheering. It gave -1 something, gave Brodies Wife something. Who? And it's John Cufford. Well, Brodie now has a foundation. And I'm glad they made it for him, to honor him. I can't remember his name for some reason. I'm blanking on Brodie's last name. John Kaufman. I believe that's his name. Kaufman. It upsets me for thinking about things like this. So, sorry guys. But to get my point, let's move on. Now, the match that I knew had to lead somewhere with Art and Cody. And this was Cody and... Let me put it to you like this. Seeing Dante Martin and Matt Sydal is actually a decent team. I don't know what's going on with Dante Martin's brother. I think he's too hurt still. He's still out. So he either... There's two things, I think. Either he's still hurt and he can't work, or they didn't re-sign him and he's gone and his younger brother is staying there. That it could be. You guys can tell me below. But seeing Dante Martin with Matt Sydal is a good thing because Matt Sydal can really teach him a lot. And seeing Lee Johnson working with Cody, I'm not surprised. This is who they go to. And Cody starts the match where Art did not want him to start the match. But by the time it was over, and Lee grabs Cody at one point near the end of the match because he was totally stunned, grabbed him, pulled him back, and tagged him so he can actually get the pin on Dante Martin. I was going like, you know what? This has got to be it. This is where Art is going to get angry because, as I said, Art is getting sick and tired of Cody because Cody's been a pain in the ass. So he basically is in the middle of the ring with Art, with Lee, and how can I describe this? How Art talked about having a blot because if someone's ready to steal your car, Cody, and talking about how Cody is. Because the way Cody's acting, because he's demanding Malachi Black, he's pretty much saying, this is Art. If this was a situation where you were driving a car, you parked or you stopped at a red light, and someone wants your car, you would be the type would go, okay, take it, don't kill me. And Art would grab a block or a Glock and just say, try it, motherfucker. Boom, boom. He puts it, and I believe I got a shot of that, and it's in my face. He literally is saying, I shoot and would rather die than give up. But he does also say, look, Malachi Black has kicked everyone's ass, including my son and myself. And if I was younger, I would take him on myself, but I'm too damn old. But you acting the way you are? I'm sick of this. And he tells Lee to come back with him. So the question's going to be, will Art finally turn on Cody and work with Brock? Because I think that's where he should go. He should be working with Brock. Why? Should he be a heel? Honestly, the one that needs to turn heel is Cody. Cody has been really booed for so long. It's time for him to turn heel, and it should be Brock dealing with Cody as a face to a heel. Let Brock stay face, let Cody be heel, and let's move on. But I don't know how long they're going to take. Maybe they'll do this at Full Gear. You never know. Now, we had several video packages. We had, I think I'm going to leave anything I feel about when it comes to Ruby as well as Britt, because they're going to have a match next week, I believe. No. Who's having the match next week? Oh, that's Sheeta and Deep, sorry. But they have their video packages talking about how Ruby's going to be in the back of the line now, and she will work her way up, which is fine. And Britt being a heel, which she's a good heel. She's telling her, get in the back of the line, bitch. She says, I know I'm going to the back of the line, and I will make it back. Now, also, Sheeta talks briefly, saying that this is going to be the 2-year anniversary next year. No, next year. I think the thing that gets me, maybe you should save this for Full Gear. Yes, it's 2-year anniversary next week. And it will be Sheeta's 50th match and possibly 50th win. Because we already got Darby Allin going for that. That's the 50th match and 50th win. No, not Darby Allin. It was Jungle Boy, sorry. And Sheeta has won multiple matches. So this would be a 50th match. But I kind of wish it was done a Full Gear. And I kind of wish they would build up into it. But Full Gear is still several months away. A few months away. So they can't. So I kind of wish they would do that. Now I know I can talk about how I feel about when it comes to Jade and Nia Rose as well as Thunder Rosa. They're going to have a match next week. I'm going to leave it for my thoughts because I want to see the match rather than just a video package they had of it. It's not the key here. I think it's the match. Now, also FTR had a moment to talk. And then making it very clear they're going to be rising up through the ranks and rise to the occasion. Which is fine. I want to see FTR get back into the main title scene. Now, the 6-man tag of Eddie, Moxley, and Allen versus Bear Country and a new guy named Green. They basically put Green through the damn ringer. It whooped his ass and beat. Now, the key of this entire thing was more for Brodie than anything else. Here, this picture of Eddie holding the paper he got from someone in the crowd for Brodie Lee. This was for the crowd. That's what this was about. No more, no less. That's what this is about. Brodie has gone through Darby Allin, he went through Moxley, and he went through Eddie Kingston. He's gone through all three of them. At least I believe he did go through Kingston. Wait a minute, did he go through Kingston? No, I don't think Kingston was there at the time. So he's gone through Darby Allin, he's gone through Moxley. They wanted to do a match to honor him. So that's what this match was all about. To honor Brodie Lee's memory and to do it in Rochester. That's fine. There was so many double matches and tag matches, so much. That was a lot, guys. Now, let's see what else did we have here. We had the promo segment in the ring with Dan Lambert and the Men of the Year. Now, I'm going to say this. I have not been very interested in Scorpio Sky or Ethan Page as they've been. They haven't been booked very well. But I will say this. They are now putting more effort into their tag team. And seeing Dan Lambert as their manager really does help. And he makes it very clear that Chris Jericho's been laid out since last week. He ain't coming back. You ain't going to have no Chris Jericho. He may have started this company, but this company is not going to be the same without him, and it's good. And they make it very clear that they are the true Men of the Year. They are the ones who have shown the best of the best. Scorpio Sky as one of the first champions of the company. And the Ethan Page saying that I am one of the best because I am a 2-degree black belt. And this is the one thing he did that I do agree with. When somebody starts doing the wet chant and everyone starts doing the wet chant, once that happens, you fall into this type of criteria that you got to do the Steve Austin what chant and then pause. He didn't do that. Once they started, he killed that because he refused to let them have that moment. Being a real heel, you don't give the crowd what they want. You give them what you want and make them hate it. And that's what he did. He cut them off, telling them, I am the best. Scorpio Sky is the best. We have not gotten anything. I am not on the marquee, neither is Scorpio Sky. I have no toys, just like Scorpio Sky. I have not been able to get anything. We deserve it because we have earned it. We are the Men of the Year. And he literally did not give them the chance to say what or anything else. And they weren't happy about that. They wanted to do the what chant. Oh, my eyes are itchy. My allergies, guys. They wanted it. And he refused to give it to them. Good work. I agree with that. That is one of the better promos I've seen from anyone in WWE easily. Because a lot of times once the what chant happens, many of the people just fall into that criteria just doing, and they go, what? And you do this. What? And I'm going to do this. What? He did not give them that option. And I hope he does that more often. Not every single time, but enough to piss the crowd off and make him be a good heel. What do we got here? The match that I don't understand. You got the Bunny and Forbes. Penelope Forbes. I wish I could be her husband. She is so cute. You could say I like have blondes. But honestly, I'd rather have a redhead. Actually, my ex-wife was a blonde. In fact, she was an albino. And she had total blonde, dirty blonde, blonde eyelashes almost, bluish green eyes, and she was pale. She was a nice looking woman. And that's all you're getting. No disrespect to her. I know I could badmouth my ex-wife. We're not together anymore, but I'm not going to do that. She and I didn't work out. Anyway, this match didn't work out. Because I don't get why they're continuing this feud with Conchi and Jay versus Bunny and Penelope Forbes. I don't know why they're continuing it. I don't. I mean, look, I can understand to a certain extent why they're doing it. I can understand why. Because of the match earlier, when it came to, what was it? I forgot it, to be honest, because I don't like seeing so many tag matches. Personally, I don't like it. because when you saw the Hardy brand going up against Orange Cassidy and the group he was with, it just felt like a cluster. I forgot all about it. I'm not gonna lie. And I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, do I have to read it? I don't want to read it. And it's like, when you see the situation, it was not 100% bad. But it's like, you know what? I forgot that it was part of Dark Order. And I forgot Orange Cassidy was there. You see what I mean? When you get too much of something, you get burnt out of it, or you become tone deaf to it. They didn't like it. So seeing that Mara Jade is doing this, not Mara Jade, and you see I'm botching here because I don't want to think about it anymore. I just didn't like the match because I wish that we just separate the women and not do the same thing with men and women. Let's move on to MJF and Darby Allin, where it got real. Guys, you wonder if MJF is willing to stoop to a certain point, or the actual Maxwell Jacob Freeman can be that creative and talk with Darby Allin and say, dude, let's do something they wouldn't expect me to do. Let me talk about your uncle and saying what happened with your uncle and dying, and that you should have died instead of him. Let's go there. And Darby Allin being open enough to say, no problem. And that's what this led to. When it came to Maxwell Jacob Freeman, he made it very clear that he's one of the greatest they got and that will be there for decades. But when Darby Allin came out and made it very clear that you talk too damn much, Max decides to go there and then some, because he says, you know what? You're a very interesting person, but you're not that great. You're straight edge. Doing a little bit of the CM Punk. But why are you straight edge? Your uncle's dead because he drank his ass to death. Now, what I mean by that is that, as you heard the promo, he was a drinker. He drunk his ass. He got drunk, as you would say it in that respect. Went and drink and drive. He dies. Darby survives, but he's saying, no, he shouldn't have died because you should have died. And then Darby's saying, you want to get under my skin? Ain't going to happen, Max. This is not working. Got anything else? Give it to me. And he said, oh, really? Okay. And then he leaves the ring, saying, no problem. So that means he's going to go further with that. The question is going to be, now that they're going to have a feud, how far is Maxwell going to go with Darby Allin? Will they go really deep into this and really piss off the fans? Because let's be honest. What happened with Brian Pillman was good. Because Brian had to really agree to let Maxwell go that far. And they tried to make a story out of that. Now, mind you, the match they had was not that bad. But I'm not going to lie here. I kind of wish it hadn't happened on Grand Slam. It could have happened on a Dynamite or on a Rampage. But it was a good build. But I do believe there was a little... Oh, come on. I do believe... Now it's working. I do believe that it was kind of premature. Because I know they wanted to fill up Grand Slam with as many matches and stories as they could. But I do believe they should have waited, built this thing up, and then do it. It needed at least a few more months. That's how I felt. So we getting this. Will they drag this to full gear? I'm hoping they will. Because instead of doing a Brian Pillman, now they're going to do a Darby Allin. And you're going to see Maxwell go even further. Now, there's a good chance he's going to insult people with how far he's going to go. And then they're going to try and crank it back. Maybe. I'm hoping not. The job of a heel is to do whatever he can to get as much heat as possible. With this environment of cancel culture and how people are so damn sensitive. Because let's be honest, guys. When I was a kid, people had thicker skins. And this day and age, where everyone wants to be so sensitive. Now, for me personally, I have depression with anxiety. It's easier for me to get irritated and to get anxious or depressed. It is. And I can understand for a person like myself. But most of these people who are millennials, and some people from my own generation who have taken on and adopted what the millennials have done, really don't understand that as a society, there are certain things where, and I know this is kind of going a little further, but there are certain things you don't need to get so upset so easily with. Yes, you want to drop barriers that have been up for decades, like the civil rights movement, racism, bigotry. Fine. Equality for women or people of different genders or want to be other genders. No one's saying you can't, but damn it all, you go too far with it. You try so hard to make it mean something that you make it mean nothing. So when he, and this is Maxwell Jacob Freeman we're talking about, when he pushes it, hopefully it won't give a problem for the company. Finally, Miro versus Sammy Guevara, the TNT Championship match. Now, I did not expect this to be a great match. I expect it to be a really good one. It was a great match. You got a power guy in Miro versus a high flyer in Sammy Guevara. Finally, a nice contrasting styles. You didn't need the same high flying from the same high flyer. You got a big guy who's very muscle, who's quick compared to a high flyer, which worked fine. Mind you, I didn't expect the outcome. I did not expect Sammy Guevara to win, but he won. The new TNT Championship belongs to Sammy Guevara. Go figure, they finally decided to pull the trigger on Sammy and let him have the title. Now here's the big question. What would they do with Miro? Miro made that title mean something, showing how dominant he was. Now the question's going to be not about him retrieving the title. That's going to come. He's going to try and get it back, and maybe by Full Gear we'll have their match. But the question is what will happen to him in between there and afterward. Because in WWE, you get to the top, they let you stay there for a couple of weeks to a month, and then you nosedive into oblivion. Let's just hope AEW can book better than WWE. Was this a good show? Yes. For Brodies' memory, yes it was. It had things I did not agree with, I didn't like, but it wasn't bad at all. Now, I don't know about everyone else. Maybe they'll say there was way too much shit on it. And I can understand why. There was so much content here. It's easy to forget everything. And I'm sure I forgot something. But I will say that they really wanted to honor Brodie Lee's memory. And I do respect them for that. But this is just me. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a comment below. And I will be doing a Gump report for next week. I'm kind of taking a break for a little bit. I've been doing Gump reports like 2 or 3 or 2 or 1 or 2. So this week I'm going to see if I can take a break. And next to that, there hasn't been really any good wrestling news. If there's anything you think I should do a Gump report on, leave a comment below. Please tell me. Because as I've been seeing, wanting to do a Gump report on Eva Marie being basically taken off TV because she needs some time off. The only thing I'm worried about is that she's becoming an alcoholic again. Now, I know everyone don't like Eva, but the only thing I worry about with her is that she could be going back in alcoholism, and she may want to try and go out of that again, because you can easily get stressed out with the WWE. But that's just me. Peace.